What's up, my fellow football fans? Bruno here with the Football Channel. Welcome to Talking Football. This is going to be really my idea is to make this the first episode of a long-running series of daily videos. I'll try to post one a day, and I want to talk about football. As you know, I really love football. If you don't know, now you're getting to know me. I'm Bruno, and I really like football, and I want to talk to you about a bunch of things related to football today. Starting with, I'm going to do a recap of all the games that we've had in this very extended weekend, full of matches. We had matches on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and even yesterday on Monday. We had some really good matches. So I want to talk to you a little bit about that first, and then we're going to move on to perhaps like the main course of this video, which is going to be the Champions League preview. At least that's what I'm most excited about, because we've already passed those weekend games, and I'm really getting excited for these games in the midweek in the Champions League. We're going to have some great games. So, but let's first start talking about the games that we saw this weekend, and we had so many games, and a lot of them really great games in the weekend. And by the way, I'm going to talk about all the major European leagues: the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga. If you haven't seen any videos about this channel, it's about football in general, more specifically European football, but I don't focus on any specific league, really. I tend to focus a little bit more on the Premier League, but I like to talk about all the major European leagues. So in the Premier League, actually, this action really started strong on Friday. We had Aston Villa against Leeds, and I've talked about this already, so I'm going to be brief. But Aston Villa and Leeds coming into this game in a great moment for both clubs. Aston Villa really close to the top of the table with 4 wins in 4 games only in the Premier League this season so far, coming into this game against Leeds, and Leeds playing beautiful football under Marcelo Bielsa. They spent, I believe, 16 years, something to that effect, in the bottom divisions, in the Championship, and even in the English third division or third tier. And this is their big comeback to the Premier League. So it was big, and they've been playing very good football, even though they have conceded some losses, but they've been getting good results in their first year in the Premier League, and showing very good attacking football. And it was no different this time. It was disappointing for Aston Villa. Leeds ended up scoring 3 goals and winning 3-0 away against Aston Villa in Birmingham, with the hat-trick of Patrick Bamford, this English striker that Leeds got. Leeds got him, and at the time it was a record signing fee for the club. They got him. He's an English number 9, and he did very well in the Championship. He helped guide Leeds back to the Premier League, but nobody was expecting him to make such a big impact. He's been scoring a lot of goals in the Premier League, and he got a hat-trick, his first hat-trick in the Premier League against Aston Villa. So great results for Leeds. On Friday, we didn't have a lot of other great games. It's worth noting that Valencia lost again against Elche, and it's really sad. People have been writing against Valencia, and it's a sad story of a once great club. Really bad management. The owners that bought Valencia, they're just running the club to the ground, and they've lost a lot of great players this year alone, in the past several months, and they're just this is a side that really, like another historical team in Europe, Schalke 04, they're really in trouble this season, and really the battle for Valencia is not even anymore to qualify for the Champions League. I think it's really not to get relegated. They're looking that bad. Now, not as bad as Schalke, but pretty bad. Now, on Saturday, we had a number of really amazing games. It was across the board. We had fantastic football games, and the big one was El Clasico, which did not disappoint. Real Madrid went to Barcelona, and they got a great result. 3-win away win for Real Madrid, and it was just a great result and a great performance for Real Madrid all around. And Barcelona is looking very shaky at this point. They seem to start strong with Ronald Koeman, but those those good results are starting to go away. The good performances are starting to go away as well, and it just seems that this Barcelona is looking a little bit more like the Barcelona of the end of last season, which is a team with a lot of doubts. They also lost a lot of heavyweights this season that went to other clubs, and mostly for free, really. Luis Suarez, Rakitic, Vidal. Rafinha and so on, they all moved on, and they didn't really bring a lot of new talent. The more they got Serginho Dest, which is a very talented young American player, right back from Ajax, and that was a good addition. He replaced Semedo though, so it's not like they had a huge improvement in the right back position because Semedo was also a fairly good player. But other than that, I mean, they really weren't able to bring in a lot of talent to the club. So, and really the two big new names for Barcelona, I would say, are two young kids. Ansu Fati, obviously, and Pedri, who's looking very good. He started again the game against Real Madrid, which is a big moment for him, I'm sure, but not probably not the debut in a Clasico that he would have wanted. But they're both 17, Ansu Fati and Pedri, both 17-year-olds, and they're looking very good. But those are really the only good news for Barcelona. An aging side, you have Piqué, Busquets, Messi, Suarez, who just left, Rakitic, who just left. A lot of the key Barcelona players of the last almost a decade are just aging players right now, and they can't really perform at the same level. And Barcelona, they really need new blood, and maybe Pedri and Ansu Fati are the beginning of that. But so far, they look like they have a lot of problems at the moment. And Real Madrid, aside that, came from in midweek they had suffered that almost, well, not almost, that embarrassing defeat really against Shakhtar at home, losing 3-0 after the end of the first half. They were able to almost come back. They ended up losing 3-2 against Shakhtar at home. They get the result against Barcelona. They get the result they needed. And Atletico as well, beating Betis on Saturday 2-0, another remarkable result in La Liga. Now, in the Premier League, we also had a great lineup on Saturday. We had a lot of great matches. They started the Premier League with West Ham tying against Manchester City 1-1. Then we had Crystal Palace beat Fulham 2-1. But really, the big game that everybody was anticipating and this weekend in the Premier League was Manchester United Chelsea, including myself. I was super excited. I was almost as excited for Manchester United Chelsea as I was for the Clasico, especially because I was kind of thinking that it might be the first time that Cavani plays for Manchester United. It would be Cavani's debut. And it was, in fact, and he looked good. He didn't score, but he only had some minutes against Chelsea. But he looked like the most threatening player on the pitch, really, other than Marcus Rashford, who continues to impress for Manchester United. He always looks, also Bruno Fernandes, of course, but Bruno Fernandes and Rashford are really the players that are looking very good for Manchester United right now. And I think Cavani could also be a very good addition. And honestly, Manchester United look better than Chelsea. Chelsea, they changed their tactic. Lampard is introducing one more defender, so now they're playing with more defenders. But that took away a little bit, unfortunately, because in order to add one defender, you have to take away one attacker, and I think that's not really the way to improve your defense. Yeah, they look bad in defense, but Chelsea looked pretty good going forward in attack in previous games, and really just by changing the tactic, using one more defender and one last attacker, Chelsea's just looking less threatening in attack. They're not scoring as many goals. Yes, they look more solid in defense, but at the same time, a team like Chelsea, they need to look good in attack as well as defend well. And unfortunately, that really wasn't the case, and we ended up getting a very unexpected result. I was expecting a lot of goals, especially the way that we've been seeing lots of goals in the Premier League in this beginning of the Premier League. And Manchester United Chelsea ended up being what I really didn't expect. I was expecting a lot of goals, a lot of attacking football. and bad defenses, and instead we kind of got the opposite. We got strong defenses and not a lot happening in the game, not a lot of attacking chances. The chances almost exclusively belong to Manchester United, and Mendy with a couple of really good saves the night, mostly Rashford. Um, he ended up, for me, he was perhaps even the man of the match, and that is a big change for Chelsea because remember, Kepa was just uh, both last year and perhaps even more remarkably the beginning of this year. And I don't want to kick anyone when they're down, but Kepa just wasn't performing for Chelsea, and Lampard really needed to change him. And Mendy, this new signing for Chelsea, I mean, he needs to start, and he's a good improvement over Kepa. Now, Liverpool, Sheffield United. Liverpool had some trouble with Sheffield United. Sheffield United scored first, but Liverpool was able to come back and win 2-1 against Sheffield United, which was a pretty important result for them. And in spite of, it seems that Liverpool's season is worse. The sensations are worse than what their start actually is. They had a good start to the season. Unfortunately, they conceded 7 goals against Aston Villa in that historical humiliation in Birmingham, and that kind of like put a stain on their season. But look, this Liverpool is actually getting good results, and they're really close to the top of the table. They're top of the table actually, tied with Everton at this moment. So not a bad start for Liverpool if you take away that Aston Villa result, which was kind of a fluke probably. If you take away that result, actually a pretty decent start for Liverpool, pretty decent start to the season. Not like last year, obviously, but still a good result for Liverpool, a good start of the season for Liverpool, especially in a year where all their direct competitors, Manchester United, Manchester City, Chelsea, Arsenal, they all looking like they're having some troubles. Tottenham, so not a bad start for Liverpool. And then, in the Serie A, we had some good results, good games. Inter Milan beating Genoa away, Lazio beating Bologna at home, Atalanta losing against Sampdoria at home. And in the Bundesliga, a very interesting game. Borussia Dortmund beating Schalke 0-4. Another, like I was talking about Valencia, Schalke's case is even worse. Not only did they were not only were they unable to bring someone more new players to the club this summer, which they badly needed. They lost their coach, and they're just looking very, very, very bad in this beginning of the season. I'm gonna look at the table here in the Bundesliga, and things are looking very bad for Schalke 04. Obviously, the your usual suspects: Leipzig, Bayern Munich, Dortmund. They started the season strong. Right now, we have Leipzig in first place in the Bundesliga with 13 points. Bayern Munich with 12 points in second place. Borussia Dortmund in third place with 12 points. But look, you have to go all the way down to the bottom of the table, and we find Schalke 04 in position 17th out of 18 clubs in the Bundesliga with one draw and 4 defeats in 5 games, and looking like a very strong candidate to be relegated, which is terrible news really for German football, European football, because they're a historical team in German football and European football. So I feel kind of sorry for Schalke 04, but not as sorry as I'm sure as their supporters feel. So those were really the big games on Saturday. But then we had some other good games this weekend. Let me move on here to Sunday, and I'm looking at the games as I talk. On Sunday, we also had some pretty interesting games. But really, the big one was two games I want to talk about. First of all, and both in the Premier League. The first one, Southampton, Everton, and Everton was coming into this game with really a historical opportunity, almost at least in recent history, to win and to have an unbeaten, and they would have been the only club to do that, an unbeaten beginning of the season. But they did lose against Southampton. Southampton looked better. They're also playing good football, and they just beat Everton, and they looked a lot better than Everton. Everton really couldn't do anything against Southampton, and so that's their first defeat this season for Everton. They're still top of the table, tied with Liverpool. It's still a pretty good start for Everton, but that's a reminder of how difficult it is to do well in the Premier League, because every single weekend you play teams that do have, even when you're not playing anyone in the top six, or one of the top six clubs, one of the big six clubs, it's still difficult. It's still difficult. A team like Southampton playing at home in a good day, they can be a very tough challenge. Wolves play better than Newcastle at home, but Newcastle was able to score an equalizer, and the game ended up 1-1. And then we had Arsenal Leicester, which was the big game really on Sunday in the Premier League, and a surprising result for Leicester. They hadn't won in decades against Arsenal away, and they were able to get the result. Jamie Vardy, who didn't start, was able to come in into the second half and score the winning goal for Leicester. Just again, a pretty decent start of the season for Leicester. Arsenal. A lot of people have been saying good things about Mikel Arteta, and it does seem that he's trying to build something in Arsenal. He's starting to make them play better, bring in some quality players. Thomas Partey just came into the team from Atletico Madrid, but they're just not getting the results, and that's pretty concerning. I'm sure for Mikel Arteta. Now, Real Sociedad, I just want to mention Real Sociedad because they stand at the top of La Liga right now, and they beat Huesca 4-1. It wasn't a difficult game for them, but this is an excellent start of the season for La Liga side Real Sociedad. Really coming into the season very strong. They've played 7 games so far, 4 wins, 2 draws, only 1 defeat so far for Real Sociedad, and they stand at number 1 in La Liga right now. Pretty surprising after 7 games, but we've been seeing like some interesting, different results really in the so far. So and then really and to finish things off on Monday. On Monday, we had Tottenham, the most remarkable. We had two interesting games on Monday. One in the Premier League, Tottenham beating Burnley away 1-0. And then in the Serie A, AC Milan, Roma tying the game, drawing the game 3-3. Very exciting game. And this, even with this result, a pretty good start for AC Milan this season. All right, so I think I'm going to finish things here because I've been talking for a while now. And in the second video, I'm gonna make a separate video. I'm gonna talk about the Champions League preview. I'm gonna talk about all the great games that we can expect to see in the Champions League today and tomorrow. Thank you for watching.